to too much lately, but I know that you talked about wanting to go to cosmetology school. Did you decide whether you think you're going to do that?
I want to. I'm looking at a couple of places. It'll be after parole, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously there's...
Recently, Ken Urquhart, Gypsy Rose's ex-boyfriend and baby daddy, made an appearance on Sorbus Live. Following his interview, Ken's mother also joined Sorbus Live with So Morbe, and let's just say, some of the things she discussed might not sit well with Gypsy Rose. To be honest, some of her comments could be interpreted as contradicting the narrative Gypsy has worked hard to establish and maintain. Gypsy is known to be very particular about her version of events.
No, schools and cutoff.
Right.
So after I'm off parole, I'm going to go tour a couple of the schools and see which one I want to do. Yeah.
But I think this is going to be good for you, though. I'm excited.
And she reportedly dislikes anyone who challenges or deviates from it. While it's interesting to see members of her extended circle speaking with creators, I can't help but wonder why they choose to engage with creators who are clearly not supportive of Gypsy.
I talked to you too much lately, but I know that you talked about wanting to go to cosmetology school. Did you decide whether you think you're going to do that?
I want to. I'm looking at a couple of places. It'll be after parole, though.
Yeah.
Could this be part of a bigger plan orchestrated by Gypsy, or possibly even linked to Lifetime? Or is it something else entirely? During her live appearance, Ken's mom shared her perspective on a topic that's central to Gypsy's story, her claims of being abused by her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard.
Because, I mean, obviously there's no schools and cutoff.
Right.
So after I'm off parole, I'm going to go tour a couple of the schools and see which one I want to do.
Surprisingly, Ken's mom expressed doubt about Gypsy's version of events. She stated that she doesn't believe Gypsy was abused in the way she describes, but instead suggested that Dee Dee deeply loved Gypsy, albeit in her own unique and perhaps misguided way. This comment sparked a flurry of reactions online.
I mean, obviously there's no schools and cutoff.
Right.
So after I'm off parole, I'm going to go tour a couple of the schools and see which one I want to do.
Yeah, there might be one not too far away from like Ken's area.
Yeah, probably. I just have to kind of look into it more.
That's awesome.
Many viewers believed Gypsy would be livid hearing this, especially coming from Ken's mom. Some even suggested that this was the first time someone close to the situation had spoken with a bit of common sense.
I'm excited for you to do that. Like, if you decide to, just
I want to do it because they had the cosmetology program in Chillicothe. But whenever COVID happened, they had shut everything down because of
One viewer commented that Gypsy wants to be perceived as the sole victim in her story, which could make hearing an alternative perspective particularly upsetting for her. However, some also noted that Ken's mom seemed cautious throughout the interview, as if she was holding back certain details. For example, she mentioned not knowing whether Ken had purchased a house or was still renting.
6 feet apart and all that stuff, social distancing. So
it's really not a long program,
it's a year.
Yeah, so it's not that long compared to if normal college, for a year.
Right. And there's part-time, there's full-time, and there's...
This raised eyebrows because it's unusual for a mother not to know something so significant about her grown child, especially if they have a good relationship, which, by all accounts, they do. Another moment that caught people's attention was when Ken's mom avoided discussing his job. While she didn't outright refuse to talk about it, she hesitated and hinted that saying anything might upset Ken.
Part-time. I'd probably do the part-time, considering, Aurora, so...
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Something that you like. Something completely different than where you were heading.
Yeah.
Morby added to the intrigue by stating that Ken claims to be a bartender, but his mother neither confirmed nor denied it. Instead, she vaguely commented that discussing it would make Ken mad. This left people speculating whether there was more to the story. Ken's employment has been a hot topic for a while now. Critics like Ryan have often roasted him for allegedly not having a job, while Ken and Gypsy have publicly claimed he works as a bartender. If they've been so vocal about his job.
I'm excited for y'all. And I'm excited to get off parole and
Girl, I know. I've got
You're
5
so
more
close.
months.
What are you, like 4 months away? 5 months away?
5 months-ish.
5 months? Oh, that's so exciting.
I
And
don't like to
then
count like this month, the month that I'm in. So I'm like 5 months.
5 months, yeah, that's good enough. And then in April, don't
Why wouldn't his mom openly talk about it? Some wonder if she's trying to avoid lying, which could suggest Ken might not actually have a job. Others believe it's suspicious for someone working in such a social environment like a bar not to have any visible evidence of their employment, especially given Ken's connection to a high-profile, controversial case. In the end, Ken's mom's live appearance left more questions than answers, and it's clear that this drama surrounding Gypsy Rose and her circle is far from over.
forget like a bunch of people that you know from the private lives and stuff, like people that you've gotten to know are all coming down here.
Oh, it's gonna be so much
I
fun.
know. I know. Christy said, I think the show will definitely be on at that time. So,
People have speculated that if Ken really had a job, someone, perhaps a paparazzo or anyone interested, would have caught a glimpse of him at work by now and taken a picture. Yet, no such evidence has ever surfaced, which fuels the skepticism. Many believe he doesn't have a job, and honestly, I'm one of those people. There's also a popular theory that Ken's only job is appearing on Gypsy's Lifetime show as part of the cast. A lot of people think that's why he stays close to her, his income, or whatever support he gets.
she said we can the night that the show comes on, we can watch on the deck. Have
You have a big watch
I
party.
know, a big old watch party. Yeah, it'll be so exciting. I know that so many people are so excited to meet you and
Might be tied to being with Gypsy. But again, this is just what people are saying. Another big moment from the live was when Ken's mom talked about Gypsy's baby, Aurora. After she made her comment, people were absolutely stunned by her choice of words. At first, I didn't think much of it, but when I read through the comments, someone pointed out that she described Aurora's eyes as looking dead. Honestly, that phrasing struck me as odd, and even a little funny in a morbid way because, given Gypsy's situation and history, some words seem off limits or extra shocking coming from her or her family. What makes this even more intriguing is how the internet reacted. People began dissecting every little detail from Ken's mom's statement, speculating whether her choice of words was a slip-up or an intentional dig.
I get this question a lot. There were things that I knew growing up that I didn't have wrong with me, particularly the wheelchair. Okay, I always knew that I could walk. However, my mom instructed me to stay in the wheelchair. So I listened. I was a very obedient child. And as for everything else, the things that is not visible, like leukemia.
Some even theorized that she might have been subtly shading Gypsy's parenting skills or perhaps revealing deeper tensions within the family. Regardless, the phrase "looking dead" quickly became a talking point across forums and social media. On top of that, the conversation has sparked curiosity about Gypsy and Ken's dynamic. People are now questioning if the pressure of being in the public eye, coupled with the ongoing drama, is starting to unravel their relationship. Critics argue that Gypsy, given her history, might be overly cautious about maintaining a specific image, which could explain the lack of transparency around Ken's employment and other aspects of their lives. The live stream also led to further debate about Aurora. Many viewers pointed out how protective Gypsy seemed when the topic of her baby came up, which only added to the mystery.
And cancer? Every time that my mom would tell me that I was going to the doctor for cancer, I thought that I was going to die. Like, I thought that I was a dying child. Because cancer you can't see.
Right.
So, there was things that I learned while in jail that, oh my God, I'm not dying?
Oh my God.
Some think Gypsy might be shielding Aurora from the intense scrutiny she's faced her whole life, while others believe she's trying to prevent Aurora from becoming another piece of the public spectacle that surrounds her family. All these layers of speculation make it clear that this situation is more than just internet gossip. It's about trust, image, and how much of their lives Ken and Gypsy are willing or able to share with the public. With so many unanswered questions and fresh controversies popping up every time someone speaks, it feels like this drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. It reminded me of a time in the past when Gypsy casually mentioned that her father would kill her, leaving everyone shocked. Similarly, when Ken's mom asked Dad to describe Aurora's eyes, One person commented that it was a creepy choice of words, giving them chills. Someone even replied to that comment, suggesting that maybe there's a little bit of D.D. Blanchard's influence showing in Ken's mom.
People were upset and shocked by this, saying that Gypsy should be able to afford her own things for her baby, considering she has 2 TV shows. However, people were even more shocked when they went to her registry and saw that every single thing had been purchased. Gypsy had things.
There's another layer to this story that's worth exploring. Some speculate that Gypsy's criminal record may have played a significant role in her grant denial. Cosmetology schools often require students to obtain licenses before practicing professionally. For ex-felons, especially those convicted of violent crimes, securing such licenses can be an uphill battle, if not outright impossible, in certain jurisdictions. Licensing boards often scrutinize applicants' backgrounds, and Gypsy's past could have raised serious red flags about whether she should ever be allowed to practice legally. If the grant committee anticipated that her chances of obtaining a license were slim to none, they may have deemed it impractical to invest in her education. Others, however, believe her financial background was the primary factor. With a reported net worth allegedly in the millions, Gypsy's application would have stood out as an anomaly among those submitted by individuals in genuine financial distress. Grants like these are intended to uplift those with no other means of affording education. Gypsy's perceived wealth made her application seem tone-deaf at best and exploitative at worst. To some, the optics of someone with considerable financial resources competing for limited funding against those struggling to make ends meet were enough to ignite a broader conversation about entitlement and privilege.
On there like baby stroller, bassinet, diaper, typical but expensive things you need for a baby. Now, shortly after that, Gypsy locked her registry and added a password, and many people took to social media to talk about how crazy it was that her entire registry had been completely bought out.
Whatever the reasons behind the denial, this incident has sparked an important discussion about fairness and accountability. Should applicants with significant financial means or complicated criminal histories be eligible for grants designed to support society's most vulnerable? This case forces us to consider not just the rules governing financial aid, but also the moral implications of who truly deserves to benefit from these opportunities. As news of the grant denial spread, so did the backlash. Social media erupted with criticism, with many accusing Gypsy of endlessly seeking to get everything for free. Some even questioned her motives for wanting to attend cosmetology school. Was this a genuine effort to build a career and provide for her family, or just another attempt to ride a wave of public sympathy? Whether this serves as a wake-up call for Gypsy or simply another bump in the road remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the public's patience is wearing thin. The once prevailing narrative of Gypsy as a victim has been replaced by growing frustration over her apparent unwillingness to change. So what do you think? Was the grant denial due to her criminal record, financial situation, or something else entirely? And what needs to happen for Gypsy to finally stop relying on others and take responsibility for her own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on stories like this one.